Good morning, YouTube. Today I want to do a 10-minute challenge on creating this circle hexagon shape with a letter inside in Solid Edge, and I want to take about 10 minutes to do it. So here we go. I'm going to start by creating a new model, and I'm going to now place a circle by center point. I'm going to make it 100 millimeters in diameter, and it's going to be on the XY plane. I'm now going to create a coincident plane that's parallel to my circle and parallel to the top face. Move it up 100 millimeters just to get it out of the road. Also recreate the top of my cup. And there I have it. All right. So on this top face, we are going to create a hexagon. So polygon by center. I'm going to rotate the plane after I've locked into it to make sure that everything's parallel. And I'm going to set its radius to be 50. That'll make it the same size as the circle. I also want to make sure that the angle is what I want. Often it's 0 or 30. Right now we can have choice polygon by vertex or polygon by face. I've chosen polygon by face. 6 sides and the distance 50. All right, so here we have it. Now I want to go and loft the circle into the rectangle. So I'm going to click on a sketch, edge, or curve chain on the bottom face and then on the top face. Cool, that's it. That's all I need to do to create this funky shape. In order to create a cup, what I want to do is add a thin wall command. And we're just going to go thin wall, select the top face, which is now the open face, and it's going to give us a default of 1 millimeter. It's selected to whatever you used previously. The cool thing about this is that it ensures a minimum thickness of 1 millimeter. So I'm going to change the stylized view, and if you can see these little gray lines, they are literally 1 millimeter out from the solid black ones. So those are the internal faces. Again, everything is at least 1 millimeter thick. It's kind of cool that way. All right, now I'm going to add another plane 5, to this, and I'm going to putting text on this plane so that I can project it onto plane 4 and then use that for the web network. In order to make my life a little easier, I'm going to hide the design bodies, I'm going to turn off some planes, and I'm just going to be able to focus on this text. So, sketching, text, and I'm just going to put in the letter A here. I'm going to make its font size big, massive at 50, and try and place it so that it is centered relative to everything else. There we go. All right, oops, I made a boo-boo. I've put it onto the wrong plane, so I'm just going to delete it, try again. So text, letter A, size 50. All right, this time I'm going to lock to the top, or plane 5, sorry. And I'm going to make sure that I've flipped to the top view so that I can center it properly. And now everything should be where I want it to be. You may recall from a previous video that the reason I'm doing this is to convert the text into lines and splines so that I can actually then use those for the web command. All right, so the command we're going to be using here is project to sketch. There it is. And we're going to click on plane 4 because that's the one we want to project onto. And there we go. And we're going to use the text on plane 5. Now, notice that we have this phrased as wireframe chain. There are other selection modes, but wireframe chain seems to work well for text. All right, so my text is selected. I'm going to check the box, and boom, I have these lines and splines down at the bottom. Clean things up. I'm going to turn off the visibility of the sketches. I'm going to turn off the visibility of plane 5 and just be left with my lettering. I also want us to kind of see the box, or sorry, the cup again. So here we go. All right, next cool feature. We are going to go back to the Home tab, do a web network. We're going to select those lines that made up the text. There we go. And by default, it will try and project everything down to the bottom plane. So notice that there's no extensions. There's a finite depth. Now we're just going to look at it and yeah, that's what I wanted. Now I can also change the thickness of the sidewalls if I want. Right now they're set to 1 millimeter. So I think I'm going to put in a 2 here. And then I'm going to change it back just so you can see the difference. In this model, we combined 3 things. We combined using a loft feature, we combined using a thin wall, and we combined using a web network to create a really weird stylized cup. Thank you. Have a great day.